fifth graders. Today we're going to learn about the order of operations, multiplying fractions, dividing decimals, and word problems. So let's get started. We're going to start off with order of operations. As we know, the order of operations, you need to remember PEMDAS, which is written right here. So PEMDAS is just like an abbreviation for the order that you have to follow. So given that the P is first, parentheses is always going to be solved first, and then it's exponents, and then it's multiplication, and then it's division, then it's addition, then it's subtraction. And we're going to do number 5 first because it gives you like one of the exceptions for the multiplication and division. So number 5 gave us 100 divided by 5 times 3 minus 46. And we know that technically if we were to follow the PEMDAS order, then it's always multiplication first. But since division and multiplication are right next to each other, we're just going to go from left to right. So whenever multiplication and division are right next to each other, you're just going to go left to right. The same goes for when addition and subtraction are right next to each other. You just go from left to right. But other than that, if it's like spread apart, like, let's see, actually there's, it doesn't give you any, number 3, if it's like number 3 and it's spread apart, then you always do the PEMDAS first. So 2 times 4, 8, and then you do 54 divided by 3, which is, I can't do mental math, 54 divided by 3, 18, and then we do subtraction. So 18 minus 8 is 10, and that should be the answer for that one. Yeah. So it's going to be different, but you need to remember that exception, that when it's next to each other, it's always left to right, okay? So now that we know the rule, let's do number 5, even though I did number 3 with you guys, technically. It gave us 100 divided by 5 times 3 minus 46. So we're going to go left to right, right? We're left to right. Left to right. So let's start with 100 divided by 5. We know that 100 divided by 5 is 20, right? So we're going to put 20 and then times 3 minus 46. Now we do 20 times 3, which is 60 minus 46. Let's make that better. And then 60 minus 46, since I can't do mental math, we're just going to write it out. 46, okay, and then it's 10, and it's 4 down here, and it's 5, and it's 1. So your answer will be 14. And let's double check my answer. Yep, 14. So let's box that answer so you guys could see it. And remember the exception for PEMDAS, okay? Now we're going to move on to multiplying fractions. Find a product / fraction to make this situation statement true. Okay, we're going to do number 8 together. Number 8 gave us 4 over 7 times y over z equals 3 over 14. Now, this y over z, if you guys like think of it about it too hard, it's going to kind of throw you off. Just think of it as one variable, not just 2 separate ones, okay? One variable. And since we need to solve for that, we have to get this variable by itself, right? So we need to get rid of 4 over 7 on this side. So the only way to do that is by multiplying by its reciprocal, which is technically divided by 4 over 7. And you need to and when you do, the 7 cancels out, the 4 cancels out. So now there's nothing on this left side. Now, but we need to do the same to the other side. So we're going to do times 7 over 4. And we know that 7 can go into 14, so it's going to turn into 2, but 3 can't go into 4. So now we get y over 7, equals, and then we multiply across 3, right? Because 3 times 1 is 3, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So your missing number or fraction will be 3 over 8. Now let's move on to dividing decimals. We're going to do number 2 together. You get 1.0 divided by 0. Oops. Let's make that darker. 0.2. So we're gonna have to divide 0.2 into 1.0. So 1.0 is gonna go inside. And then 0.2 goes on the outside. I meant 1.0. Did I say 0.1? 1.0 goes into inside, 0.2 goes on the outside. Now, we know that we need to have decimals in our final answer, but since the decimals are gonna kind of like distract us from solving this problem, we're gonna just move them all to the right. So we're gonna put it right here, and we're gonna put it right here. Okay? And bring this decimal up here. Now, it's just gonna be, it goes from 0.2 divided into 1.0 to 2 into 10. Right? Oh, sorry, you gotta put the decimal up there. Now we know that 2 times 5, 10 divided by 2 is just 5. And then we get 10 and 0. So our answer is just going to be 5 for number 2. It's fairly easy. You just need to get rid of the decimal and just put it in at the end. Now we're going to move on to word problems. We're going to do number 4 together. Number 4 says, there are n guests at Owen's birthday party. 2/3 of the guests at his party are boys. There are 12 boys at the party. Find n. So our main goal is to find n, right? And the only information that's given to us is that 2/3 of the people at the party are 12 boys. Right? Because it says 2/3 of his party are boys, but there are 12 boys at the party. So what we have to do is set up an equation, okay? So we're gonna, our biggest number, we're gonna have to do n. Our n is what we're trying to find, right? But we already know that there's 12 boys, so we're gonna put 12 here. However, we know that 2/3 of them are boys, so we're gonna put that there, and we have to divide 2/3 into n and try to get 12. And the only way to do that is by multiplying the whole thing by 3/2. So if we multiply it by 3/2, then on this side, the 2/3 will disappear. But when we multiply 12 by 3/2, we get 12/1 times 3/2. So 2 goes into 12 6 times. So we're just going to multiply across, and 6 times 3 is 18. So n will equal 18. So there's a total of n guests at the party. So your answer will be n equals 18. So for these word problems, you need to write the equations based on the information given to you in these problems. And make sure that you have to get rid of the decimals before you divide. And for multiplying fractions, make sure that you want the variable to be alone. And remember, dividing is basically multiplying by the reciprocal, okay? And PEMDAS, remember the exceptions that I told you guys about. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this helped you guys a bit.